Hi, I wanted to show you today a little experiment that you can just try out just to help with easing your neck pain. So if you just nod like a little yes, so you're just gonna nod a little yes just to see what that feels like, what the movement's like for you. Just very gently, just easily. And just have a think about where you think that movement begins. So where the joint is of where your skull and the top of your spine meet. So if you want the medical terminology, we're talking about the atlanto-occipital joint, the top of the spine and the skull. And just point to that place wherever you think it might be. Up or down, front or back. And this just gives you an idea of your ideas about your body map, how you think your body moves. And we're going to just sort of experiment with that and see where the reality is of where that place is. So the actual point of where your head and your spine meet is much higher up and usually further forward than many people think. You may, of course, have this exactly right. But if you put your fingers up behind your earlobes, there's a little dip there behind your earlobes, and your fingers are sort of horizontal to the ground. And you're just going to think directly between your fingertips. So right actually at the back of your nose. And this is where that top joint of your spine is. And for most people, we forget that our spine actually even comes right up into our neck, even. And often we then think of the spine being much further at the back, rather than actually being quite central. So we've got a lot of head, a lot of skull behind and above this joint. So just remind yourself of that. And then you can either keep your fingers here or lower them. I find it useful to keep my fingers here. Just to try that yes movement again, but the movement is happening from that very top joint. So that your little tiny yes is happening from that very top joint. And just see how that compares to the previous movement. Is that any easier? Perhaps smoother, give you a slightly different piece of information. And I'm going to show you just briefly on my skeleton as well, just so you can see what that's like. And here you can see the spine really coming right up to meet the skull, right up here. And you can see how much head there is right behind and above that joint. And as you can see, it's sort of roughly in line with the nose, quite high up. You can even look from the jaw side to see how far forward it is. So just experiment with that and see how you got on, see how that affects the movement or the freedom of your neck.